Hello, this is Olga-Show at Internet Innovation Summit here in Montenegro Computer History Museum. This is May 23rd, 2013, and we are with famous journalist and US Ignite
Founder
famous
and
founder and Chief Technology Officer.
Glenn Reichert.
Right.
And I'm Washington Bureau Chief and Senior Columnist for eWeek. My name is Wayne Rash.
Hello, Michael Foreman, Senior Journalist, Fairfax Media News Unit.
And Giorgio Baron from Computer World Venezuela.
Alright, here we are. We're going to speak English.
This
You
has
speak
been
Russian.
a Virginia area on your cell phone.
Well, I work so much with the folks in government, and some of them, believe it or not, it's no longer true, but a few years ago, we're not allowed to dial long distance without permission.
Oh,
So it's actually a Google forwarding number
gotcha.
that all the government people who have a problem could call,
Gotcha.
and then all the industry people could call me no matter what the area code was. So the only problem is that I get calls at 7 in the morning in California because they think it's 10 a.m. in the morning where the area code natively lives.
His area code is where I live.
Well, looks like Google taking over the world.
Yes.
I know it's
Indeed.
like over the subject, but then also probably providing lots of personal data to all other organizations.
Absolutely. I'm sure if you ask me what my number is, I can probably tell you.
He probably listens to your conversations so he can send you ads.
I'm sure that's the case.
And definitely on GPS somewhere, even if you turn it off. So they know exactly location where you are by phone. So anyway, coming back to Ethernet Summit, those people already know you and they said you gave a great presentation yesterday.
It was a great presentation. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
What you had this morning, actually.
Yes.
And I noticed, by the way, that when it sent you to Washington, you realize, of course, that all the traffic goes there at some point or other. It's trek across the United States, right?
Well, I actually went and checked to see if I sent it from here if it could go to Washington as well, and it does.
Yes.
Even from here in the Computer History Museum.
Yes.
So that just seems wrong, but it is what happens. The
Yeah.
traffic
70% of the world's Ethernet traffic goes through Fairfax, Virginia.
the Equinix Center there.
Yes.
I'm familiar with it.
So that's something you probably didn't. Even traffic from Russia goes through Virginia.
I would not be surprised now. What I heard today, that's yes.
It probably makes it easier for planes to intercept and look at the
Yeah, probably so.
Now we're
I've always
talking
assumed that
about
to be the case.
cloud computing and storage, yeah, somewhere in the clouds.
Yes.
Public or private or hybrid, you name it.
What should we talk about?
So I was wondering what brought you to Ethernet industry
What brought me to this meeting and
or industry in general.
what brought me to the industry in general?
Yeah, did you dream about it when you were a child or somebody really kind of changed your life?
He doesn't do either.
Oh, he doesn't.
No. Glenn does what they call, you encourage applications, and that may use Ethernet, but he's actually looking for applications for technology.
But I'll tell you about Ethernet anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I was very interested in electronics. And I didn't have anyone to really help me, but my father figured out that if I went and got a set of books that I could probably learn from the books. He bought me a trigonometry book. I learned trigonometry on my own. He decided I could probably learn electronics. So he got me a series of books that they use for training in the Navy. And I promptly went downstairs and started soldering things together. And in general creating a mess, but every now and then sometimes it would work very well. And I decided I really liked this electronics stuff. So I actually put together some early networking things that I went and constructed myself. And they talk about 50 and 75 ohm Ethernets and yellow cables and vampire taps. I actually understand all the electronics of that, and I became an electrical engineer.
Did you get a ham radio license?
I have a ham radio license.
So do I. So does Boggs. He Boggs has it.
Yes, whenever I go to the FCC, and I go over there often because we try to make sure that the regulations are favorable to doing the experiments we're trying to do, I always introduce myself as a licensee of the commission.
Yeah, well, they know I am too. So I just wondered because there's so many people who got started this business as ham radio operators. We knew how to solder stuff together.
Right. In my case, the ham radio operator came after learning to solder stuff together.
They had to have an application.
Entirely true, Wayne.
Yes.
Entirely true.
So when did you put those applications? Why did you think of applications, putting it together?
So what I'm doing right now is called US Ignite, and it's an attempt to break a deadlock that we've got in how advanced networks and applications work together. Today, there are no applications that would run on advanced networks that are not already deployed, because the developers say, why should we write an application when we can't run it anywhere else? So if there's an application that would use a local cloud, that would use network virtualization, that would use SDN, they say, why should I write this application if I can't use it in the networks? And when I talk to the network providers, they say, why should we deploy virtualization, software-defined networking, local cloud computing? There aren't any applications that would use it. Sounds like a problem.
Yes.
Sounds like a problem I'd like to attack. So I attacked that problem by going after it in every way possible. First thing I did was to make sure that we had some support from the government to go and help provide some incentives to create some applications. Demonstration applications, I call them, because they still can't run them, but at least they can demonstrate that they would exist. So next month in Chicago, June 24th to 26th, we're going to demonstrate 20 advanced applications you couldn't run on today's networks.
That is very cool.
And at the same time, I'm going to, we have 28 communities signed up to provide advanced test beds for these applications.
You say communities, what kind of communities are you talking about?
So people who have some kind of advanced technology and are willing to use it. Okay. So one early example is Chattanooga, Tennessee. They have 170,000 homes wired with fiber. They can run them at a gigabit, so things that need a gigabit can work. They have installed a local cloud facility that's programmable, that developers can go and install local stuff on the gigabit. So let me give you an interesting application that they've already begun working on. It's called Engage 3D. They go and they take a Microsoft Kinect box. It has a 3D sensor and also it has a video sensor. They go and take the 3D sensor and use that to go and figure out where the surfaces were. They then do a reverse homogeneous coordinate transform to reverse project the video that you see back onto those surfaces so they can tell what the original surface looked like. And then they allow you to re-examine those surfaces from a different angle because now you have a 3D reconstruction. And they do it at 30 frames per second, which is a video frame rate. The computation needed to do this, you could do with a local cloud with powerful servers. Too complicated for an iPad or a PC. But by using the gigabit network to stream the results of the sensors to the local cloud in real time converts that to the 3D model, sends it to the other end where I can then manipulate and look at this from different points of view. What I'm hoping to demonstrate in Chicago, if you can come, Wayne, is that Chattanooga, Tennessee's aquarium is going to have the Ranger Rick program where they look at aquatic mammals like turtles, and not reptiles like turtles and other things that scurry in and out of the water. They'll have this 3D Connect transmitting this to students who will be able to go and look at the side of the reptile, the underside of the reptile, the top, by this reverse 3D transmission. It should be great for education. Now that's something you couldn't run at home today, and yet it's a great educational application that US Ignite style technology is doing.
That's very cool. It really is.
Now, in terms of you said in Chicago you will show 20 applications. Why 20, not 5, not 1? And what is it applications?
We're going to be 1 year old next month.
Okay.
And I've started about 30, and about 20 of them are worth showing.
Okay.
The other 10 aren't done yet.
The other 10 are still cooking or, ran into problems. We're doing things that haven't been done before, so not everything will be successful.
It's got some incredible engineering applications to it.
When you get to pick your job,
Yeah.
this is the job you pick.
Yes. You've managed to pick yourself an ideal job, haven't you?
Exactly. My wife said, why are you working for somebody else when you can design your own job?
There you go. My wife has asked me that too before.
So come be my compatriot here.
Okay.
Help me make it happen.
All right.
So
Hey.
now those applications, like he asked for different industries or communities. Is it for different industries as well? Or,
So we're working with the U.S. federal government, and in fact, this particular project has National Science Foundation funding. So it has to be for public benefit.
Right.
Something that benefits education, like the Ranger Rec thing, or healthcare, or clean energy, advanced manufacturing, better transportation, something that would benefit the public good that we would be proud to see happen that way.
But it doesn't have to be in the U.S., does it?
It doesn't have to be in the U.S., but it's more difficult to get a National Science Foundation grant if you're not in the U.S.
Yes.
With your company name, are you thinking about the international market, or are you going to be domestically focused?
I am mostly domestically focused, but we're happy to share everything we do with other countries and organizations. So last month I was in Dublin, Ireland at the Future Internet Assembly of the European Union. And at that assembly where they have all the folks working on their future internet projects, they have decided this year to start, based on US Ignite. They saw us last year. We were just getting started last year, but nothing, but just the concept existed last year. So this year they've now agreed to form what they're calling the FIPPP, the Future Internet Public-Private Partnership. If you go to fi-ppp.eu, you can see what they're doing. They're not copying us. It's a somewhat different model, but it's after the same things. What are the applications and uses of future internet technologies? And I was there sharing what we're doing, our cities, our applications, what's working, what's not working, what's our business model. Business is kind of the wrong word. What's our nonprofit operations model? Who are we working with? How are we doing that? And they were happy to share with us. In some ways, they're ahead. For example, Santander, España, is well ahead of what we're doing because they started 3 years ago. We're only 1 year old. The things that are happening in Smart Santander are things that we can learn from. Some of the things have worked, some of the things have not worked. They're going to be of use to us in our testbed cities. We had the same offer from Japan, so I think that I'll probably be visiting Japan sometime soon to go and share those what they're doing. Here, thanks to the international press and collaborations that we're seeing here at the 40th Anniversary Ethernet Summit, I think we may also be seeing significant interest from Australia and South Korea, in addition to what's going on. So guess where else I would like to see some collaboration and cooperation, Olga?
in Russia.
In Russia.
Yeah, I'm looks like ambassador between technology, culture, and people between America and Russia. So I'm in big role here, and I need support as I can get in many applications.
So
you can give to
this
many
is
people.
important,
Yes.
and we would be glad again to help share with the folks in Russia and the republics what we're doing and how the applications might be able to help change their lives for the better as well.
That would be wonderful.
And I'm sure there are things going on in your country and republics that I don't know about that I should know about, and I'd like to know about. You have a very distinguished Academy of Sciences. These people are probably doing some very interesting things I need to know more about, so I would appreciate learning.
Absolutely. They have great intellect, which is still exists and need to be supported and collaborated to make available for the community in terms of healthcare, education, should not be struggle and should be helping us.
She actually lives in Silicon Valley, by the way.
I understand that.
But I'm still helping everyone. I'm making globally
right, you're
known.
becoming-
I'm thinking of her listenership, which is being,
Yes.
this is being recorded.
they definitely look what's going on here. They're looking after me because it's happening like they call it, like I was joking, Russian opera. And I said, well, I would like Oprah to be my mentor.
There we go.
Yes, you can become rich and famous. And
Absolutely, and then I will be working and making all those applications, be part of applications, internet, you name it.
If you haven't interviewed these folks on camera, you need to do that.
oh, she's been with us all afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was learning all day from them. I was like, wow, that's why I sit between them, so kind of learning from them.
Any other questions you've got?
It's interesting, but I don't catch exactly the idea. Could you explain a little better about the 3D scanning or something like that?
So I was explaining one use for local cloud and high bandwidth,
Okay.
which is to go and take a Microsoft Connect box, which has both a 3D sensor
Exactly.
and a video sensor.
Exactly.
The 3D sensor and video sensor information is streamed to a powerful server.
Okay.
The server first cleans up the signal from the 3D sensor because it turns out there's a lot of noise and stray data points that occur. Then locates those points to see, does a Gaussian fit to a surface
Okay.
that would explain those data points. And so we begin to understand what the structure is in 3D of the scene. But we don't know what color it is.
Okay.
We don't know what pattern it is. We can't see anything except for kind of, we know that there's something there. We then go and say, here's what the video looks like. We do know how to do a transformation from a model to what you see in perspective. That's called a homogeneous coordinate transform. We do a 4x4 matrix multiplication to figure that out. We do the reverse and say, what does the video look like when it's projected back onto the surface we've just created from the 3D sensor?
Okay.
So now we know what the original surface looked like and where it was. So now we can go and transmit the 3D model, and the person who's receiving the 3D model can view the 3D model and move it and see different things.
Only with one point of view.
No, because we're
Can
transmitting...
we create all these surrounds?
Well, we don't, since you can only see so much of the image from the video camera, you basically can get about half of the object, the half that's facing you. So the dark side of the moon we can't do.
Exactly.
But the bright side of the moon, we can do well enough that you can look at the bright side of the moon from any reasonable angle. Yep. And if I can find it here, I have a little app that goes and shows you the 3D model. See if I can find it.
I am right now in your web page, but I would like you to have see an example, but this is something confused. They don't talk about what you're saying. Are there an example?
So we just started US Ignite a year ago. The website is still talking about what is happening and who we're working with. And you can see our partners, you can see our industry partners, and you can get descriptions of these applications. But none of them have been demonstrated yet. Their initial coming out party is June 24th.
Okay. Are you going to broadcast that?
We are
Because I would like to see it.
We do intend to stream that. It depends a little bit on the venue and getting to see if we have the cameras and the bandwidth, but we are going to try to stream that. Okay. And if we can't stream it, we will at least take a video copy that we can put up on the web.
Is that the conference insert?
It's our birthday party
It's a birthday party.
In Chicago.
in Chicago.
So because it's Salt Lake City, and then in Chicago you're doing birthday party, and then you live here.
Wayne definitely needs one here.
Yes, I definitely need one.
No, I live in Salt Lake City.
Okay. You do live in Salt Lake City?
I do live in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Okay.
You want one too?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You bet.
I don't know if you travel to Chicago anytime soon.
So when you want to see, so take a look at it about July 15th and you'll see many more things up on the website.
In the website. Okay.
Right.
I'll visit
I'm
you.
going to try to convince you that I should go to
Sounds very interesting.
I think you should too.
It's very interesting for robotics and
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
So these applications you've done so far, I get the Microsoft Connect thing, this is too fast, but you're basically building from the ground up at the moment.
Building a model.
These applications, you're basically building them from the ground up.
Well, in that case, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've got this Microsoft thing. Do you foresee a time ever, is there stuff like with the knowledge that you're gaining, do you think you'll ever be in a position where you might be extending kind of regular to the software, if you like, to take it on?
I really hope so, because that would be the fastest way. And it's one of the reasons we're working with Mozilla. Mozilla, open source people, those folks I'm hoping are all going to make their stuff open source so that others can build on it, make very rapid evolution. So I'll take an application from wherever I can get it, but open source is even better.
And then when you take that application, do you make it better, or what do you do with this? Like you polish it up and make it work?
Well, so one interesting application is for home health care visits. In Cleveland, Case Western Reserve University is working with the Cleveland Clinic to go and provide for telehealth care into a senior living facility called Judson Manor. And the university has put in gigabit internet into Judson Manor. Cleveland Clinic is on a community 10 gigabit network called One Community. That's been interconnected so that we now have high bandwidth gigabit connections to the senior living facility. Telehealth is already existing if you do not need high bandwidth. You just use any of the common Skype, video, Google Hangout, whatever it is. There's plenty of video options to be able to do low quality video. If you'd like to do high quality video so that the surgeon can see if the wound is healing or if the diabetic ulcer is healing, you need a high definition camera. The webcam is not good enough for that. And you either need expensive compression, something like Cisco Telepresence is very good, but we can't afford to put one of those in every living facility. But if I'm willing to use bandwidth, you can still get high quality. So what I do is I take the stream from the camera. I don't. Case Western Reserve is programmed under the NSF grant, taking the stream from the camera, putting it directly onto the gigabit Ethernet. Uses about 600 megabits uncompressed. And you decide to take it off. It runs on an old PC. You don't even need a new PC because it's not doing anything. It's just copying the bits.
putting stuff on the screen.
Right. So, it's just copying bits from here to there, and even an old machine can keep up with that at 30 or 60 frames per second, providing you're willing to use the bandwidth. So now I've got a high quality, low cost. They do have to buy a $50 high def camera, but whatever machine they've got, whatever laptop they've already got is good enough, and the doctor can see very high quality. Plus extra bonus advantage, because it's not compressing, it doesn't have the delay involved in doing the compression. It also doesn't have the delay involved in decompression. So when you're moving this up your arm or your leg to show the doctor says stop right there, you hear it right away because there's no real delay. In fact, I was doing a test of this with the folks in Cleveland. I was in Salt Lake City at the University of New York, and we had up a high bandwidth connection to go do this. And we're talking with each other about the development, and can we have the demo, and will the demo be ready in time for June, and so forth. And I'm talking about this, and they finish my sentence. I thought nothing of it until I realized, wait a minute, of course people finish each other's sentences, but not on video conferences,
Yes, that's right. Because there's always so much latency.
because there's always so much latency. So this has really changed even how I talk to them about doing the demo.
Yes.
And I think that has a lot of possibilities for what can happen. So I think this is going to be a most interesting demo at the June event.
I can see why you see a future, you know, or see some thing happening in Australia as well. With the buckets of public money there. And what's cooling in New Zealand with the down there. It's a similar situation. Publicly funded rollout. And we're looking for applications to encourage this growth. Yeah.
And this makes a heck of a lot of sense if you need 10 minutes every 2 weeks.
Right.
And then of course the video streaming, that's take a lot of big data going through the internet you call it, that compression, decompression time really makes big difference. I'm pretty sure somewhere in Siberia or some village in even Russian part or republics of previous Soviet Union, it's probably hard with a high-speed internet. So I'm not sure, but yes, I am sure because sometimes Skype not always working in the village I'm going to, whereas my relatives still are.
Yeah.
And it's delay. I'm talking to them and I'm like, oh, I already said it. Why are they still kind of waiting for a response?
Now, in that case, it's not all compression, decompression, because you have a lot of speed of light delays getting that far. So I can't do anything about the laws of physics. I've really tried hard. I prayed a lot, but I haven't been able to change those. But the things within our control, we ought to minimize.
I have a daughter who's got a T-shirt that says "Speed of light." It's not only a good idea; it's the law. I have a daughter who's a physicist.
And your PhD is in computer science?
It is.
And where? From Salt Lake University?
From the University of Maryland, College Park.
The people who told me I was too old to go get a doctorate.
Oh yeah, okay, we talked about that.
Yes.
University.
I'm very proud that my dissertation was published in the Communications of the ACM and has been cited by 700 scholarly papers.
Very nice.
Impressive. And now you can use it in your own company and create even more for a better community.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Olga.
Thank you, yes, it's very useful. And the easier it gets, the better for me because I'm not as technologically advanced like this guy, so if I switch on, switch off and look behind this, I would like to know, but not everybody would like to know and fix it.
I like talking to the Waynes because they get it. And when they get it, they get it.
That's what I do.
He breaks this stuff.
Very interesting.
He goes into details. Yeah.
Any other last questions here?
That's all from the board.
Good.
I
Thank you
promise
very
that,
much.
Yes,
I
thank
will
you so
watch
much.
that video.
Good.
I would like very much to stay in touch.
Very
Please.
There's a lot going on that you guys do, and I would like to find out more about it.
It's only in my interest that you learn right about this stuff.
Yeah, well, and it's in my interest that I do too, because quite frankly, I think what you're doing is fascinating.
Thank you.
And,
I've been wanting to talk to you all day now, so.
and of course, my interest would be not only for Silicon Valley, because which is full of different innovations, but not like yours. And if like you wanted to be sure that maybe Russia would be interested, yes, I would like to be a bridge for best of the communities.
But what he's doing is particularly nice, because what he's doing is helping a lot of innovations. He's creating innovation, and that's more encouraging. I'm just really impressed.
So the more innovation comes, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I want to have it in my lifetime.
yes,
Me three.
yes, I agree.
Me three. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Hey,
Okay.
great, Glenn, thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.